Have you ever woken up one morning and felt like the world has lost its color? The hobbies that used to light you up, painting, hiking, even binge-watching your favorite shows, now feel like chores. Conversations with friends seem repetitive. Work feels like an endless grind. And even the small joys, like a warm cup of coffee or a sunset, barely register. You scroll through social media, hoping for a spark, but all you find is a hollow echo of someone else's curated life. Deep down, there's a nagging question. Why does nothing feel fun anymore? If this sounds familiar, you're not alone. Millions of people from all walks of life are grappling with this quiet, creeping sense of emptiness. It's not depression, though it can feel close. It's not laziness, though you might beat yourself up for not trying hard enough. It's something deeper, something that tugs at the edges of your soul, whispering that something is missing. And according to Carl Jung, one of the most profound thinkers in modern psychology, this feeling isn't a flaw, it's a signal. A call from the unconscious, urging you to wake up and reclaim the life you were meant to live. In this journey, we're going to dive into the heart of this feeling, why it happens, what it means, and how you can transform it into a catalyst for growth. We'll draw on Jung's timeless wisdom, weaving together his ideas about the psyche, the shadow, and the process of individuation. Through storytelling, psychological insights, and practical reflections, we'll uncover why so many of us feel stuck in this cycle of apathy and how to break free. By the end, you'll not only understand this feeling, but also see it as an invitation to rediscover meaning, joy, and purpose in your life. Let's start with a story. Meet Sarah, a 32-year-old marketing manager living in a bustling city. On paper, Sarah's life is a success. She has a well-paying job, a cozy apartment, and a tight-knit group of friends. She travels twice a year, posts vibrant photos on Instagram, and keeps up with the latest trends. But beneath the surface, Sarah is struggling. She can't remember the last time she felt genuinely excited about anything. Work, once a source of pride, now feels like a treadmill she can't step off. Her weekends, filled with brunches and Netflix marathons, leave her feeling restless rather than refreshed. Is this it? She wonders. Is this what life is supposed to feel like? Sarah's story isn't unique. In fact, it's a reflection of a broader phenomenon. In 2023, a Gallup poll found that nearly 60% of adults worldwide reported feeling disengaged or languishing, a state of emotional flatness where life feels neither terrible nor fulfilling. Social media amplifies this, bombarding us with images of people living perfect lives, which makes our own discontent feel like a personal failure. Add to that the relentless pace of modern life, endless notifications, 24/7 work emails, and the pressure to optimize every moment hand. It's no wonder so many of us feel like we're running on empty. But this isn't just a product of the digital age. Carl Jung, writing nearly a century ago, saw this coming. He believed that modern society, with its obsession with productivity, conformity, and external success, disconnects us from our inner selves. When we prioritize what the world demands, status, wealth, efficiency over what our soul craves, we lose touch with the deeper currents of our psyche. The result? A pervasive sense of meaninglessness, a feeling that nothing is fun anymore. Jung called this disconnection a crisis of the soul. He argued that the human psyche is not a machine to be optimized, but a living, dynamic system that seeks balance and wholeness. When we ignore its needs, it sends us signals, sometimes subtle, sometimes loud. That feeling of emptiness, that lack of joy, is one of those signals. It's the psyche's way of saying, "You're off course, it's time to listen." To understand why nothing feels fun anymore, we need to step into Jung's world, a world where the psyche is a vast, mysterious landscape, filled with archetypes, shadows, and hidden treasures. Jung believed that every human being is born with a unique potential, what he called the self, the totality of who we are, both conscious and unconscious. The journey of life, according to Jung, is the process of individuation, becoming the fullest, most authentic version of ourselves by integrating all parts of the psyche, including those we've ignored or suppressed. But here's the catch. Society doesn't make this easy. From a young age, we're taught to conform. We're told to sit still in school, follow the rules, and chase success as defined by others' good grades, a stable job, a picture-perfect life. Over time, we develop what Jung called the persona, a social mask that helps us navigate the world. The persona isn't bad, it's necessary for getting along in society. But when we over-identify with it, when we let it define who we are, we lose touch with the deeper parts of ourselves. This is where the shadow comes in. The shadow, in Jungian terms, is everything we've pushed out of consciousness, our fears, desires, insecurities, and even our untapped potential. It's the part of us that doesn't fit the persona, the part we're afraid to show the world. For Sarah, her shadow might include her secret longing to quit her job and become an artist, or her buried anger at always putting others' needs before her own. When we ignore the shadow, it doesn't disappear, it festers. And one of its favorite ways to get our attention is through feelings of emptiness, boredom, or apathy. Jung saw these feelings as messages from the unconscious, urging us to confront what we've been avoiding. In his seminal work, Psychological Types, he wrote, "The unconscious is not something to be feared, but a source of wisdom and renewal. It speaks to us in the language of symbols, dreams, and emotions." When nothing feels fun anymore, it's often because the unconscious is knocking, asking us to look deeper, to face the shadow, to question the persona, and to rediscover the self. To make this more vivid, let's turn to a story, a myth that Jung often referenced in his work, the tale of Chiron, the wounded healer. In Greek mythology, Chiron was a centaur, half human, half horse, known for his wisdom and healing abilities. Unlike other centaurs, who were wild and reckless, Chiron was gentle and learned, a teacher to heroes like Achilles and Asclepius. But Chiron carried a secret pain. He was wounded by a poisoned arrow, a wound that could never heal. Despite his suffering, Chiron didn't retreat into despair. Instead, he used his pain to help others, becoming a master healer precisely because he understood suffering so deeply. Jung saw Chiron as a powerful archetype, a symbol of how our wounds can become our greatest gifts. When we feel that nothing is fun anymore, we're often carrying our own version of Chiron's wound, a sense of disconnection, a loss of meaning, or a buried pain we've never fully faced. Like Chiron, we have a choice. We can let the wound define us, or we can let it guide us toward transformation. For Sarah, her wound might be the fear of failure that keeps her tethered to a job she no longer loves. Or it might be the grief of losing her sense of wonder, a part of herself she left behind in childhood. Whatever the wound, Jung believed that confronting it is the key to rediscovering joy. This doesn't mean fixing the wound or making it disappear. It means accepting it, learning from it, and allowing it to guide us toward a deeper, more authentic life. So why do so many of us, like Sarah, feel this way? Jung's ideas give us a framework, but let's ground them in the realities of modern life. There are 3 key traps that amplify this sense of emptiness. 1. The tyranny of productivity. We live in a world that glorifies hustle culture. From the moment we wake up, we're bombarded with messages to do more, be more, achieve more. Apps track our steps, our sleep, our productivity. Social media rewards those who seem to have it all together. But this constant striving leaves little room for play, creativity, or rest, the very things that feed the soul. Jung warned that when we prioritize external goals over inner growth, we risk psychic inflation, a state where we're so puffed up with achievements that we lose sight of what truly matters. 2. The loss of ritual and meaning. In traditional societies, people had rituals, communal gatherings, rites of passage, spiritual practices that gave life a sense of purpose. Today, many of us lack these anchors. We've replaced meaning with materialism, trading deep connections for fleeting distractions. Jung believed that the psyche craves meaning, and without it, we feel adrift. This is why scrolling through TikTok for hours can leave us feeling empty. It's a poor substitute for the soul's deeper needs. 3. The fear of the shadow. Most of us are afraid to look within. We distract ourselves with work, entertainment, or even self-improvement to avoid facing our fears, regrets, or unfulfilled dreams. But Jung insisted that the shadow holds the key to our vitality. When we suppress it, we suppress our creativity, our passion, our joy. The feeling that nothing is fun is often a sign that the shadow is crying out to be acknowledged. So, how do we move forward? How do we transform this emptiness into a spark of renewal? Jung's teachings offer a roadmap, one that combines introspection, creativity, and courage. Here are 5 practical steps, inspired by Jung, to help you rediscover joy and meaning. 1. Listen to the unconscious. Start by paying attention to your feelings, even the uncomfortable ones. Jung believed that the unconscious speaks through emotions, dreams, and even physical sensations. Keep a journal and write down your dreams, or reflect on moments when you feel most alive, most numb. What patterns emerge? What is your psyche trying to tell you? 2. Confront the shadow. This is the hardest but most transformative step. Ask yourself, what am I avoiding? What parts of myself have I pushed away? For Sarah, it might mean admitting that she's terrified of leaving her job, or that she resents always being the reliable friend. You don't have to act on these feelings right away, just acknowledge them. Jung suggested active imagination, a technique where you dialogue with parts of your psyche through writing, art, or meditation. Try it. Imagine your shadow as a character and ask what it wants. 3. Reclaim play and creativity. Jung believed that creativity is essential for psychic health. When nothing feels fun, it's often because we've lost touch with our playful, spontaneous side. Rediscover activities that have no purpose other than joy-doodling, dancing, gardening, or even playing a silly game. These acts reconnect us with the archetype of the Pura Eternus, the eternal child who embodies wonder and possibility. 4. Seek meaning, not happiness. Jung argued that the pursuit of happiness is a trap. Instead, focus on meaning. What gives your life a sense of purpose? It might be helping others, creating art, or exploring your spirituality. For some, meaning comes from small, everyday acts: cooking, a meal for a loved one, tending to a plant, or volunteering. Jung wrote, "As far as we can discern, the sole purpose of human existence is to kindle a light in the darkness of mere being." 5. Build rituals. Create small, intentional practices that anchor you. It could be a morning walk, a weekly coffee date with a friend, or a moment of gratitude before bed. These rituals don't need to be grand, they just need to feel sacred to you. Jung believed that rituals connect us to the collective unconscious, the shared reservoir of human experience, helping us feel part of something larger. Let's return to Sarah for a moment. After months of feeling stuck, she decides to try something different. She starts journaling, writing down her dreams and frustrations. One recurring dream stands out. She's standing at the edge of a cliff, afraid to jump, but feeling a strange pull to do so. Inspired by Jung's idea of the fool's journey, she sees herself as the fool in the tarot, poised at the edge of the unknown, ready to take a leap of faith. Sarah begins to confront her shadow. She admits that she's been living for others' approval, staying in a job she hates to prove she's successful. She starts painting again, something she loved as a child but abandoned because it wasn't practical. At first it feels awkward, but over time she finds herself losing track of time, immersed in the flow of creation. She also starts small rituals, a weekly hike in nature, a nightly gratitude practice. Slowly, the world begins to feel alive again. Colors are brighter, conversations deeper, moments sweeter. Sarah's story echoes the fool's journey, a concept Jung drew from the tarot. The fool, numbered 0, is both the beginning and the end of the major arcana. He represents the courage to step into the unknown, to trust the process of life even when the path is unclear. Like the Fool, we must embrace our vulnerability, our wounds, and our potential to find our way back to wholeness. The feeling that nothing is fun anymore is not a dead end, it's a doorway. It's an invitation to listen to your psyche, to face your shadow, and to rediscover the spark that makes life worth living. Carl Jung's wisdom reminds us that joy and meaning are not found in external achievements or fleeting pleasures, but in the courageous act of becoming who we truly are. In practical terms, this means taking small, intentional steps. Start with a single question. What is my soul asking for? Maybe it's rest. Maybe it's adventure. Maybe it's the courage to say no to a life that no longer fits. Whatever it is, trust that your unconscious is guiding you toward wholeness. Jung once wrote, "The privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are." The next time you feel that emptiness creeping in, don't run from it. Pause, listen. Let it be your guide. Like the Fool, take a step into the unknown and watch the world come alive again.